Uncensored.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the podcast that is all about intellectually immature nonsense.
Are a very particular set of skills.
And by God, this is the BS.
Uncensored.
All right, there it is, episode 20 of the BS Uncensored podcast. My name's Jason Bailey. Thanks for being here. There is NickyD.
That is me.
How you type with those Kurgers, I have no idea.
All right.
Just like you see me doing. Boom, 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 boom.
Do you type with the nail or the finger?
The nail.
God, that doesn't look comfortable.
It is. It's fine.
Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
What about when you're with a guy? Does it scrape his, dick?
No,
Ooh.
it's a good grasp around it, and it looks really pretty.
Yeah. Well, that's important
Yeah.
That's important when you're grabbing a penis is how your hands look. There's Nelson. Hello, Nelson.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Better now that we can do the podcast. I swear to God. And there's Dougie T. This is my therapy. I swear to God, this is my therapy because I don't have to rush the conversation. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. I just had a rough week. Of course, I was extremely sick. And so, I've had a rough week. It's just been.
Are you feeling better?
No.
No? Your illness coming back down on you?
No. You know what I did realize, though? I'll tell you something. This is what I realized. I realized that I have more regrets in life than I ever thought I did.
Really?
Yeah. I've always been the guy, I know, shocker, that's, even if I did, I'd never say it out loud.
Right.
Just because that's how I am.
Mm-hmm. You keep it to yourself.
I keep it to myself. And I've reached an age at 48, almost 49, where there's no going back. You see these stories of like redoing at 50 and bullshit. Like you're the 1%ers. Once you're in, you're in. Whatever it is that you've been doing, you're doing the rest of your life. It's just how it is. At least in my world. I can't pivot like that. I can't adjust. So, but I've never claimed to have regrets.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few in my life that I have. We all have regrets,
Yeah.
But there's a few, and if it's with somebody, I try to tell them that. Like I had a really honest. My daughter is so smart, and she had to have a sit down with me the other day, and we had never had one of these types of talks.
She called it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some things going on at the house, and she sat me down.
Oh.
Yeah. That girl's brilliant. That girl's so smart.
What'd she say?
I don't want to get it. That I can't get into, but she just is really, really smart.
Okay.
And there was a regret that I had with her when she was younger that when I got angry, I'd said something, and I was waiting till we took her to college. I was going to take her out to lunch and tell her that. Because I knew I'd probably cry or something like that. And, it just kind of all came out during this very emotional conversation. So I got that off my chest, and it made me feel good.
Oh, that's good.
Because I like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't have it. Like any regrets that I have, they will eat at me on a daily basis. But I've realized lately, I don't know, the past 10 or 11 months, that my biggest regret is that I've been too perfect.
What does that mean?
I've played by the rules. I've tried to do things by the rule. I've lived, for the most part, a perfect life. I've not been arrested, right? Or at least not charged. And I'm not a cheater. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a fairly decent person. I guess it depends on who you ask, right? But I've played by the rules, and that to me is my biggest regret.
You wish you wouldn't have played by the rules?
I wish I would have gotten into drugs. I wish I would have been arrested. I wish I would have a record. I wish I would be depressed. I wish that maybe even I've almost committed. So I wish I had all that shit in my life.
I've done most of those and it fucking sucks. So I would say no, you don't want that.
Yeah, but you didn't play your cards right.
What did I do wrong, please?
I don't know because I'm not in that world. I don't know. I just know that I see people that on a daily basis, all they do is tell the story about how they were an alcoholic, how they were a drug addict, how they're depressed, how they suffer from, how they were incarcerated when, and like the world stops. They get handed shit to them left and right. And I don't get any of that.
Nelson hasn't gotten anything handed to him.
Well, again, he's not playing his cards right. I'm telling you. Like, he fucked it up. And I don't know what he did, but he just didn't do it right. The majority, you would agree, if you have a past or a present currently like that, you kind of, you get a pass for everything. You know, I mean, like if you act up at work, like this place can't stand me. Let's be honest. This place cannot stand me because I'm a redneck from Georgia and I speak my mind and I'm not a kiss ass. Right. And I'm abrasive and I'm a monster and I'm, jacked and, all these things, so if I had one of these problems, I would get the pass. They would be like, oh, you know what? He said that. It's only because he's depressed. He's depressed. And do you understand what I'm getting at here?
I kind of get what you're saying in this case. People do give passes to people like, oh, they're in therapy or they see a therapist or they have whatever going on. You're right.
Okay, let me give you another example. Nelson, he's claiming that it doesn't work out for him. Okay, it does work out for him. He just has not learned to take advantage of it. Okay, he's still, of course, a part of the radio show. I wish he were, God, do I wish, no offense, Doug, but I wish that he were with me every single day. But he's not.
Right.
He's back in Nebraska and he's on his little microphone and he's got the Zoom thing going like that. They wouldn't do that for anybody else.
No,
the only reason they're doing that is because he's so fucking pathetic. Right? I mean, they feel sorry for him. They're like, they know he's 42 years old and is fucking broke with 2 kids and living with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
I don't say any of these things to be mean. I love you.
That's all the truth.
I'm just making a point. Exactly. The truth. I speak the truth.
That's all the truth.
And because I'm not depressed on drugs in jail or an alcoholic, I'm an asshole.
She write all those down.
I did. Right here.
I saw you keep glancing at the paper.
Took notes for the podcast. I don't really
put drunk, alcoholic. Make sure that's on the list. Yeah, I'm not any of those.
I don't put much show prep into the podcast, but I did write down those 4 things. I was trying to think of a 5th, but I couldn't think of one. Anyway, where was I? Oh. Drugs, depression, I had a voice though. I had a thing going. But he's all fucked up, right? He's got all these things going on.
He has issues.
But they don't want to just say, hey man, we got to let you go, because they'd feel bad. Like he literally was in a contract. And he just fucking walked out.
I mean, I still am, I guess.
You are, right?
I mean, right? Yeah.
Technically.
Now, granted, a lot of it's because, they don't have a plan B and all this other stuff and the, and those things and the lack of around here. But, most places would be just like, go pound sand. Go suck a kangaroo dick. Get out of here. But that's not what they're doing with him. Why? Because they feel sorry. That's the thing. I need people. I don't have anyone to feel sorry for me. There's nothing to feel sorry for me for. And that's my biggest regret.
Why are you going to come up with something?
It's too late.
Oh, okay.
It's too late.
It's never too late.
It's not. You could go start seeing a therapist tomorrow.
Yeah, you could crash and burn your life right now.
And then they'll be like, oh my God, what is going on with Bailey?
Okay. No, we
feel sorry for him.
Stop you all there. You can't do it at this stage in your life because people don't care at this stage. Then you just become a fuck up. You have to been suffering from it from an early age, because then you can blame it on something. You can blame it on your childhood, your drunk, touchy uncle, your upbringing, the state, blah, blah, where you grew up.
Well, I mean, some drunk, touchy uncles probably did fuck some people up. Let's not take that away from those who were touched by an uncle.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, is it does, right? You get credit. Look, dude, I'm never looked at like those people. And you have any idea what the shit that I went through when I was a kid? I've told the story.
You've told the story of the things that you've been through and being beaten and things like that. But it's the way that you tell it that I don't think people even feel sorry for you then.
Right.
Because you make it like funny. You don't make it like a serious thing. The most serious you've ever been talking about your stepdad was our last Uncensored podcast we put up. And you really got deep in that one, and I for the first time felt like, ouch, like this is deep, this hurts.
But I can't do that on the radio because it's supposed to be especially with the 30 seconds of airtime they give us. It's got to be, I mean, that's what radio is now. It's all this, make sure you hit it. Get out. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be compelling. It doesn't have to be thought evoking. It just has to, it just has to get you through. Yeah,
I think you could still like emotionally put in like what you've been through as a child, and people could feel that.
Okay.
Especially people that can relate that's been through the same things.
Okay. Well, I want people to feel sorry for me. That's all I'm asking.
You want people to feel sorry.
That's the whole
for
point,
you.
Nikki. That's my regret. I have nothing that no one's going to feel sorry for me. I don't have anything to feel sorry for. Like even the things that you should feel sorry for, you don't feel sorry. And then you get the smart ass fuckers that'll be like, I feel sorry for you. No, you don't. That's a lie. You just lied to me. You don't really do that. You're using that as a catchphrase, like The Rock. You don't really feel sorry for me. And then if you get people to feel sorry for you, what happens? Back to my original point, you get a pass. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
That I agree with.
See? This all makes sense. You guys look at me
That I
like
agree
you're a
with.
little dumbfounded with what I'm talking about.
I see what you're saying, but like I still don't have that mentality. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want your woe is me's or I'm sorry or I'm sad for you. That's the way that I'm built too, and I don't want it. Even now, I don't want it.
Excuse me. Who's the boy barely dressed walking behind you in your house in
tell me
Nebraska?
he's that close. That's my, I guess she's my stepmom. That's her nephew. He's supposed to be house sitting while my father is out of the country.
But Nelson doesn't talk to him.
He looked like a young Adam Driver.
Yeah, he's a very handsome young man, about 25.
But Nelson
Good
doesn't
looking
talk
dude.
to him.
Nice. It's not that I don't talk to him. I was on the phone with you for fuck's sake, and I walked out into the kitchen and I didn't see he was sitting over in a chair on another side of the room. It's a very large house, okay?
I don't know if I don't know.
It was uncomfortable for me.
So look, we saw the couple ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the house cleaners.
Allegedly cleaning, right? And so now we see this young man in very short shorts and a very tight shirt walking. I think he's at like some house in the middle of Fuck Festville or something. I think you're into some freaky shit, dude.
I am into freaky shit, but I'm not into the middle of it right now.
You fucking the dude?
I'm not fucking that dude, no.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
Why do you
He had to look around
I'm looking like
to make sure he doesn't hear him.
I'm not fucking him.
I think you're driving the driver.
I'm not. I let him watch. You know what I mean?
You with the house cleaners?
That's
Let him
weird.
watch,
Like
yeah.
his
I like
shorts
to
are
be
all up
watched.
to his balls, and he's walking
How did
around.
you get that good a look at him? It's like a tiny window you're looking through.
I see everything.
I see everything.
I do. I see everything. Like it explains a lot what walks behind you. I don't even bring it up half the time.
I only notice it when you tell me something happened.
I know.
Like I'm not looking at my individual cam feed, so I don't see what's happening behind me.
The kids call me observant.
It's called observant.
Observer.
Yeah.
Observer. Yeah.
I like your bum bum, yeah.
Do you have anything, NickyD, that you would want people to feel like? I don't know what it's like to have people feel sorry for me. Like
It's awful.
I've never had that feeling because everybody, like or hate me, you think that I'm this certain way, maybe because of my embellishment sometimes on the air, or because of a personal situation that you've all like. Nobody takes responsibility. Like I know who I am, and I know what I do, and I know what I say. But it seems like most people don't know who they are, and they don't realize what they say, and aren't willing to listen. At least I'm willing to listen.
The biggest issue I've had in my life, and I don't really know even what to call it, is people feel as though I'm missing a feminine gene, and I'm not motherly, and I'm not nurturing and caring and those type of things.
I
And
agree.
a lot of that is correct. And it's because I was raised by a man. I was raised by my father, and he was a military man. When my mom left, I was very young. So I didn't get a lot of maybe the nurturing things, or, I didn't learn how to decorate or hang curtains or stuff that your mother's supposed to be there to teach you how to do. I did not get that. I had my
Put up
father.
a Christmas tree.
Right? So whatever, Nelson.
Care for your
so
daughter.
People want to look at me and be like, oh, I feel sorry for you. You wasn't raised with your mom. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm fine. I turned out great. My dad did a great job. And I have a good relationship with my mom now. So don't feel sorry for me. I'm fine.
That's our problem. You nailed it. You're a genius.
What's that?
You're brilliant. You and I are two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
You and I share the same problem. We don't want anyone to feel sorry for us.
I don't.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to flip it. We got to flip that shit. We have got to learn to let people feel sorry for us. And it starts right now.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for
No.
me, even if I walked around with the moping and the whatever.
It is. We've got to find things that we can, what's the word I'm looking for, Nelson?
Exploit?
No, not exploit. Yeah, exploit, but accentuate.
Yeah.
You know, like we've got to put it out in the universe. So whether they're real or not, you know, it's.
My sister does that, and I hate it.
I understand that, but people still feel. You don't, but people do. So, like, if I go out in that hallway, right, at work, and I look like I'm upset, people automatically think I'm angry. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that's the big bad monster Bailey. But now, if I start doing that, maybe change it up just a tad.
And let tears roll down your eyes?
And I don't know. I can't go. This is first inning. I can't get there just yet. So if you know, and everybody listens here because it's this communal, weird cult-like thing. So if I'm able to talk loud enough and tell people a sad story, maybe possibly they'll feel sorry for me. Somebody may pull me aside and go, "Yeah, I know what you're going through. I've been through that too."
Maybe.
You know?
Do you have a sad story to tell?
Oh shit! Yeah, I mean, I can.
Because you gotta have one to tell.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't hear what happened, did you?
I didn't. What happened?
So the last couple of days, I hadn't been feeling well.
Right.
And there's a reason for that.
Oh, what is it?
I had to go to the doctor. I was having some pains, some uncomfortable feeling in my abdomen.
And your fingertips were turning blue too.
That's what started it all.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to a finger doctor.
Right.
Yeah. And he sent me to an abdominal doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And they found out that I have this very rare abdominal blood
disease.
I don't want to call it a disease.
Okay.
Because they have yet to label it.
Oh. You're the first one with it.
Possibly. I could be patient zero. That's what he said. So I thought it was over. I really did. But they didn't say that. They just said, we're going to try a couple things. So currently I'm in a beta testing phase of a lot of these different antibiotics and drugs. And they said it stems from my childhood and the stress that I've incurred through,
your abuse.
Abuse. Yeah.
Oh.
And mainly stress at work, radio in particular. And people, certain people. He actually even said names, and I didn't even tell him names.
So it flared it up.
It flared it up.
Okay.
So outside of being the word is targeted by certain people at work because of who I am, I have this very rare
disease.
Situation.
Right.
And
could be a disease. We don't know yet.
And normally I'd keep that to myself. But I think now I need to tell people because I want them to feel sorry for me. And I might want to GoFundMe at some point in time.
Oh, of course.
Or a benefit concert.
People will definitely feel sorry for you if you do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, like a We Are the World. Like we are fucked, or something. Like just do something for me. I'm sick of living my life with this shield of masculinity. I need to push it up a little bit.
You need a little estrogen.
I need a little pansy. I need a little Nelson, right? So I'm going putting a dress on. I'm painting my nails, and I'm going to start opening up about fake fucking feelings.
Oh.
Even if I'm feeling that way, I'm going to open up because people like that for some reason. They like when you open up.
They do like that. You're right.
And I don't know why.
I think it makes them feel closer to you.
Nelson hates.
No, it makes them feel better about themselves.
Nelson hates the person I am. Like I'm everything that he is not, but I think deep down inside he wants to be. But he hates that I'm the guy that shields up. that I don't release all. He's told me before. He's like, man, you just do all this stuff. So like, the last couple of weeks I've opened up. I've talked to him about stuff. And you know what I got to tell you?
What?
It fucking sucks. He's not even listening half the time.
He is very occupied when you are talking to him on the phone. I will give you that.
You guys are
Sometimes
ridiculous.
he's zoned in, but most of the time it's like, Nelson, did you hear me? He's like, hold on 1 second. I'm finishing this one thing up and then I'm going to be there with you.
That's the thing.
Okay.
I'm sitting here, and the other day I was opening up to him about this abdomen thing that I got going on. And you could just hear.
He wasn't paying you any attention?
None attention at all.
Was he fixing noodles and stuff for the kids?
That's exactly what he was.
Probably so. That's what he does to me a lot.
Rice and noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rice and noodles.
But I could hear that he wasn't interested.
No,
it's just
you
like
could
after the first, if I need your ear, I need your ear. So after the first hour, I could just tell he wasn't interested anymore.
After the first hour.
You had worn him down?
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to. I took all those years, 15 years exactly that I've known the man, and I thought I'll start now.
Yes.
I got a lot of making up to do.
Mm-hmm.
I figure, if we were buddies for 15 years, an hour a day, that'd be 7 hours a week. That'd be 28 hours a month times 15. That's 280, 4, close to 400 hours. So
I got to be honest. I don't know what to do with it when I hear it from you because
see, he zones me out. He doesn't care.
It's not that.
It makes him uncomfortable.
Doesn't care.
It's because, when you're like a kid and then you see your parents, they're parents, right? They're like this other being, right? They know all or do all or whatever. And then there's a moment in your life where you're an adult and they're an adult and you realize that your parents, they're just human. They're not superheroes. And when you started showing me that you too have flaws, that rocked my whole world because you've always been so self-confident. I said, there's no way that there could be any kind of feeling like this inside him. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to give you what you want.
See, I give the guy what he wants.
I know.
I buy him the Lamborghini and he finds out he can't fit. What
Fucking
the shit, man? See, that's what I'm talking about. So now I've learned that you have to pick your spots.
Where to get in.
So again, going back to the beginning of this conversation, I want people to feel sorry for me because those are the people that win. The people, it's not the people that got their shit together. It's not the tough guys. It's not the people that, it's not the me's of the world. Okay. It's the Nelsons of the world. And I love you, Nelson, but I just don't subscribe. Well, I didn't subscribe to that until I came to this, kind of
epiphany.
Yeah. You got to be a pussy for people to pay attention to you and like you. So I'd like to start off by saying hi.
Hi.
My name's Jason Bailey, and I'm a pussy, and I'm new to this world.
All right. Are you going to start telling your health story today? You're going to give it a whirl, see how that works?
I did.
Yeah.
I just did talk about it.
I mean, in the halls. Are you going to go out in the halls and talk about it?
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
yeah.
right,
I mean,
right.
we're about to leave this. That's why I need you to be with me at all times.
Okay.
Because I don't feel comfortable by myself because I'm targeted by these people. These people are after me. I'm telling you, I'm turning into a paranoid person. And I'm not
You're
paranoid.
sounding very paranoid right
You
now.
just be with me at all times.
So I need you to be with me at all times. And if you take off work again, I'm taking off work.
Okay.
Because it's fucked up that I get sick and you get off, but you take off and I still got to come in here.
Yes.
When the deal was,
I think it's because you're important.
I'm not important though.
You're the most important person.
Your
because
name's in the lights.
Yeah.
Well,
The
no.
Bailey show. Bailey got to be here for the show to go on.
That's not true. That's why I put this show together because I want it to be surrounded by people that I know could do the show while I was not here, so the listeners could have a live show. When I was in Atlanta, I couldn't do that because I worked with an idiot, and so you guys are not.
No.
So
We've done a
that's
show
just-
without you before.
I know, and it sounds great. It sounds great. It sounds
great.
You know, it sounds better without me. To be honest with you.
Come on. Don't start that.
I feel sorry for him.
That was the nicest thing we've ever had him recorded saying, though.
For
you know what I
sure,
mean?
for
Like,
sure.
oh my God.
Agreed.
Yes.
Do what?
He's
What?
said that behind closed doors before, but he's never said that in front of a microphone.
What?
About how that you value us and think that we're talented enough to carry the show on when you're not around.
Yeah, and that's part of me now lying. Right? If you guys can believe this stuff, I'm really, really good.
Thank you. And you wonder
I
why I don't
believed
have.
it.
You wonder why I don't know what to do with him opening up to me.
You don't know if he's selling the show.
Everything's a goddamn work. Everything's a fucking work, dude.
Oh
And it's bullshit that nobody believes me just because I'm good at what I do and I'm a good storyteller.
Good liar.
Mr. Jones.
Like, do you think that people call George Lucas a liar? Or
Not once.
Like any storyteller, Stephen King. Do they, no. They believe them. Why don't people
Bob
believe
Ross.
me? What?
Did you say Bob Ross?
Yeah, the painter guy. He
Yeah, but
tells a
like-
story with his paintings.
But he doesn't verbally tell stories.
So you get what I'm
What?
saying. People believe it.
No, like you believe him because
Mr. Rogers, how about that?
If literally he draws a tree, he's not lying to you. It's really a tree.
I don't know. That just
Mr.
gave me
Rogers?
vibes.
You can't be a lying painter.
Are you just saying famous names?
No, I'm saying people
Paul
that I
Revere.
would believe the things they said.
Well, hey, hold on. Paul Revere, that story's bullshit. Not for some reason, not too many people know. Like the Paul Revere story is the one that we're told is nowhere near the truth.
I didn't mean to trigger you on Paul Revere. I didn't know you're so passionate about Paul Revere.
And now I'm a little frustrated because I don't remember the real story. But it was like 3 dudes, not just Paul. It's like a whole. It's like it's way off.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
You don't know about it.
Bob Ross.
She's
Fucking
Bob Ross.
You think those trees are happy? Bullshit. He's a fucking liar. All those
miserable.
trees were miserable. Right.
Yeah.
They were dropping branches and all kinds of shit.
Oh my God, yes. He said Bob Ross.
I stand behind it. I sure do. I don't take it back.
Like out of all the names, she could have been like Tupac, Biggie,
Right. Yes.
storytellers, people that had something to say.
Anybody.
A fucking guy that never talks. Well, he did. I guess he did. He walked us through it, but
He did.
His paintings told his story. She said. What the fuck is going on?
this isn't real paint. This fro, not real. Trees, not happy. No. Canvas, not real. None of it. Just one big fucking Bob Ross liar. She's crying. We got her to cry. That's when we end the podcast, when one of us cries. Like happy cries. So anyway.
Oh, gosh.
So gonna start. You know what? Here's the other thing. You said, at this age, bring up, like you can start doing the shit now, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know physically if I could start doing heavy drugs because you have to look at I have to carve out about 10 years, right?
Yeah, you got to ramp up into the real heavy stuff.
Right. So I can't just become a drug addict. I have to go through these different trials to get there.
You can get it
Well,
done
why
in about
even
a year,
start
though.
with drugs? Just be an alcoholic. That's easier to do.
I've tried. I swear to God.
You already go to
tried.
like the casinos and stuff, so just drink a little bit more.
I try. I can't. My body rejects it. Let me tell you, back in the 90s, I got my first place to myself. I had this cool little 810 square foot condo.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. And I didn't really have a patio, but it was on the first floor. It was like an old motel. So it's that kind of thing. And there was a courtyard out front. So I had like little chairs out in front. Now, again, I'm 21, 22 years old. So I would try to drink by myself. I wanted to be an alcoholic. Like I was trying to be an alcoholic when I was younger. And I tried to start. So I'd get beers and I would go outside and I would drink by myself. And I would hope somebody would walk by and say, oh, you shouldn't do that at a young age. Drink, like one of those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
One, no one ever walked by. And 2, like after one beer, I was sleepy. I couldn't do it anymore.
You know what? I have the same problem. I can't really drink normally more than 2 drinks because number 1, I have to be thirsty to drink, and I'm not very thirsty most of the time, and I can't do it. Even when I try to do it because I want to be cool and get a little buzz with people, I can't.
This podcast is brilliant. I mean, I'm learning a lot about myself right now. I figured out why I'm so perfect, and I regret it.
Why?
Oh, God.
And I hope that doesn't come across as arrogant when I say
Doesn't.
that.
Not even a little bit.
Okay, because you know what I mean when I say perfect. I mean, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but I'm just better than those that aren't.
You just don't have flaws.
Right. It's the lack of flaws that makes me perfect. So I just don't want that to come across as arrogant by anybody. Because that's not my intentions at all. I'm trying to not be so perfect. So I'm trying to, if you understand where I'm coming from. But I figured out what the problem is.
What is it?
The one thing that I get beat up on the most, I'm not going to ask you what it is because you'll probably say something that's not the right answer. It's going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, that's not.
Is my OCD, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
So why'd you say right like that? Why did you say right like that?
That's what I was going to say.
Right, she says.
When she stretches a word for a good 8 minutes, you know she's full of shit.
You know it.
Okay.
Sure.
You're OCD. Okay.
Gotcha. One of the things I get beat up the most about is my OCD. Mm-hmm. Having the OCD problem that I have doesn't allow me to do the drugs, doesn't allow me to be depressed, doesn't allow me to drink the alcohol to a point where I could become an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. And it definitely doesn't allow me to go to jail because my days are so well timed. Regimented. And I've got to do certain things. Can you imagine if I drank too much or OD'd or passed out because of drugs and I missed going to the gym or I missed watching Criminal Minds? Oh my God, head explode.
You can watch Criminal Minds on drugs, by the way.
Well, I'm sure you can, but I choose not to watch it that way.
You can watch almost anything on drugs.
But I would miss it from all that. My point is I'd miss these things. If I were depressed, do I really want to go to the gym? No. I want to sit home and eat food and be lazy and watch Criminal Minds, but
right.
I couldn't do the other things.
No, you could not. You will be thrown completely off, and when you're thrown off from one thing, that ruins your entire day.
So in order to be a perfect person, you should have OCD, and I don't know if that's something that can be learned, taught, or what. I'm quitting this fucking job today, and I'm going to open up OCD teaching classes.
Oh, and teach other people how to be OCD.
Oh my God!
You figured it out.
Now, how does this explain like Howie Mandel then?
Well, he's got a different type of OCD.
Oh, he got the drug-inducing OCD.
No. Well, no. His is the cleanliness thing.
And the touching and the rituals and this.
Right. I mean, he's got a lot of me, my OCD, but I'm not. He's one of those the cleanliness freak guys.
Right, germaphobe.
Germaphobe. Right. So it's a different type. But he never did drugs or alcohol.
Yeah, he did. Howie Mandel had a pretty substantial drug problem.
Oh, did he really?
I thought he did. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how he used to manage his OCD.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. It was like debilitating to him, and then he like took drugs, and then was able to like cope. Because when you're so fucked up, then you can get past the like touching thing. Like you can just see past it because you're so focused on being fucked up.
Well, also a lot has to do with the job, right? I mean, this job, if you allow it, in which I have, will drive you absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy, absolutely nuts, right? Being a comedian, stand-up comedian, and look, I've got a lot of friends that have been doing that for decades, and some of them went through hell. Some of them have been able to, skirt any disasters, but that is a very, very, I don't want to say sad, but isolated occupation.
Yes.
Unless you occupy you got to think, you've got shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You've got 2 shows Friday night. You're done by midnight-ish, but you still have adrenaline, especially if you have a good show. If you have a bad show, you just want to crawl up in a ball and go to bed, right? Saturday, you're going to have 3 shows. Sunday, you're going to have 2 shows or 3 shows, right? And it's, for a lot of these comedians, almost the same act, unless you're like an Ian Bagg that changes it up all the time. And so you're just repeating. It's like Groundhog Day every night. And then, maybe you'll pick up gigs during the week here and there, but you have to occupy, like, how long do you sleep? Where are you at? Do you have, if you want to work out or do you want to go to the, like, what do you do? Do you have a loved one? Do you have kids? How do you miss a birthday? Like, I couldn't even imagine that life.
Right.
I could do it older in life, like pull like Phil Hartman, like, I mean, he just skyrocketed. He didn't really go through the all the stuff, but you know what I mean? Like get into the business at like my age. And then take my wife with me out on the road, sell off all our possessions, and just travel and do one of those. That'd be fun. But at a young age, upcoming comedians, I don't feel bad for them. I just feel for them.
Right.
It's one of those jobs. But my point is, the job will make you this way. Rock
I
stars.
can see that. Yeah.
Rock stars. You see it with rock stars. But you start to see more and more people are going, you know what? I don't care about the money. It's not about the money, which that means you got to put your ego aside, which is very difficult for most people, hand raised.
Sure.
And say, okay, it's not worth the headache anymore. It's not worth that state of mind. I said that when I got blown out in Atlanta and I started the podcast. Happiest I'd ever been that year. And, come back to it and, to be continued. But like, then you have that internal fight with yourself of going, well, look, I had this conversation with me and I said this to me. Now I'm lying to me. And that's a whole different world when you lie to you.
When you lie to yourself.
Right.
Absolutely.
Whole different world.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I can promise you to finish things up here. I'm going to try heavy drugs.
No, you're not. Don't say I promise you.
I am. And
okay, what's the first heavy drug you're going to try? Because I want to see it.
I'm
You
going
gonna sniff something up your nose?
No, I'm going.
Yeah, that's probably start with that.
Well, okay. Cocaine?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would start. That's a good entry level for you.
Okay. I'm going to do cocaine.
When?
I'm going to do cocaine on Saturday.
On Saturday. At
a
what
good time
time?
to- that's a good
'Cause
day
I
to
need
do
to
it
be
if
there.
you're gonna
I
do it.
want to see this with my own two eyes.
Oh, he's going to be going a mile a minute. Can you imagine how
No. I can't
he'd be bouncing
imagine.
off? He'd be bouncing off the walls.
I'm going to play in a poker tournament Saturday, and I'm
God,
going
good
to
luck.
halfway through the poker tournament take some, as we call them, bumps. I'm going to do an
Really? You're going to do some bumps. Where are you going to do these bumps at?
on my hand.
You just right at the table in front of everybody.
You know, most people don't have cocaine in a tiny jar with a lid like they show on movies, right? Most of the time it's in like the sweaty corner of like a Ziploc bag that somebody's torn off.
Mine is like in the movies.
Gotcha.
Clean.
And if I don't do it at 2:00 on Saturday, I'm going to do it at 8:30 that night.
Why 8:30?
Why 2:00? I don't know. I just made those numbers up.
I just know that like once you develop the big drug problem you have, the good thing about you is your intervention will be very easy because you'll be the only drug addict on a schedule. So we'll just take out all the schedule entries that say do drugs and your intervention will be over.
Well, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to try to keep with it.
I'm going to try and keep with it. You got to put in the effort, man. You know what I mean?
I'm going to do my best. And then I'm going to work on being depressed. So
They
that's
usually go hand in hand, like after you've been high a few times and then the lows that happen after you've burned out all the dopamine. If you want to fast track depression, skip cocaine, go right to ecstasy.
that's an idea. Well,
Yeah,
lucky
'cause
That might make you cheat on your wife too, though.
lucky for me.
No, it's hard. It's real hard to get it up on ecstasy.
Well,
I
no,
thought that's what people want to do, just hump on
People
ecstasy.
want to hump, but like it's hard for guys to get it up on ecstasy.
that's hard
like-
for me to get it up without ecstasy.
It's like super whiskey dick.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. No girl wants this. I haven't been hit on in years. So, the good
Except
news.
in the car a year ago.
The good news. That's right. The girl in the car. Yeah. The good news is the depression thing. I already started it. So
Did you?
I tried it about a week ago, and I like it. So
Yeah.
so I'm going to add. So I kind of like the entry level to the depression. We call it Depre. And so
Bruh.
we're going to try to get the shin out of it and then add a little cocaine to the mix. Wash the cocaine down with some whiskey.
Got you, and you'll have the on.
Yes, the whiskey is going to help me dark liquor, right? I'm going to dark liquor the depression. And then I'm going to figure out something to go to jail.
And then anyone who's had like a bad cocaine problem knows that there's a fun game you get to play with whiskey, or whiskey specifically, but any alcohol and cocaine. And that's, you get a little too drunk, you do some cocaine, it takes the drunk away. You get a little too high on the cocaine, you do a little more drinking, and then it's a fun balancing act. And that should help help your OCD as well. It's something you can obsess about.
And pull the cocaine out at the poker table. That will get you to jail faster.
I would not do that right. You're going to
That
want to
will
go to the
definitely get you to
bathroom on
jail
that
fast.
one.
He said he wants to go to jail, so I'm telling him how to get there.
Oh yeah, that'll get you to jail right away.
Yeah, but if I go to jail, I'm going to jail for something cool.
Some weight.
But
You
you
don't
gonna
want
go
just a
rob a
little
bank?
bag.
No, so here's the thing. So, obviously not everybody listens to the BS Uncensored podcast.
Not yet.
So just posts. Somebody wants to start a thread on the social media at Listen to the BS and just post what I should do to go to jail for. And everybody else is going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I love shit like that. So you can do a hashtag like you know kind of thing. So just let me know what I should go to jail for.
Okay.
I'm thinking as much as I want to do something good to go to jail for it, that's going to give me kind of an out. I don't want to do I've got to do something I've got to do something bad enough that people are going to feel sorry for me like I need help.
Okay.
Like punching a homeless guy is not going to work. That's just
Nope.
being a dick, right? So I've got to do something. I don't want to drink and drive because I don't want to hurt anybody else. So I got to find something that's bad, shocking, way out of character, but to the point where we need to check on this guy. Wellness call. See what I'm screaming?
Yeah.
No ideas top ahead?
No, I'm just.
Well, you just said you don't want to hurt anybody, so manslaughter's out. I was like, manslaughter's nice because depending on how it came about, it could be like someone that was close to you and they accidentally died and it was your fault. Then people are going to feel bad for you.
Yeah, I can't do a manslaughter thing. That sticks with you. It's kind of like carbs. Can't do it.
Well, the cocaine will help that.
Yes, I just made the brilliant analogy of manslaughter and carbs.
Carbs.
All right. So anyway, that's all I had to say for today.
Okay.
I thought it was very therapeutic.
Sounded like it was.
I thought we learned a lot.
I definitely learned a lot.
Boom.
You're going to start being depressed, using some drugs. I have to now walk around closely with you every day. And I learned that I don't want people to feel sorry for me. So learned a lot today.
Learned a lot.
Yep.
Nelson, you learn a lot?
I didn't learn anything, but I do know that we need to hurry this up because I got a fuck party that's about to kick off here in about 5 minutes. So.
We call it the Adam Screwdriver.
Damn, that's good.
All right. Give us a like, share, follow at Listen to the BS. Share the podcast. Hopefully, I'll get everything worked out here in the next couple of weeks. I'm getting ready to launch a new podcast with my wife. Just bought the URL. Honey, I Raised the Kids. That should be very interesting, but more therapeutic than anything else. I got to tell you, our house needs it right now. It is all about being empty nesters, or about to. We're going to have to get some experts on this one. Nelson, I might need some help booking people, right? All right, look, have yourself a great, safe rest of your week. Super Bowl on Sunday, whenever you listen to this. Don't be out there crazy drinking and driving. Don't even get behind the wheel of a car, right? I always tell you that. I lost too many friends like that, so please don't do that. And again, share the podcast information. Until next time.
Get off my lawn! It's old man Kevin, and the BS is done for right now.
Please share, like, and support.
TheBaileyShow.com.
Now, get out of here.